LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. Glad you could join us. We're off to Atlanta, where the track that Tony Stewart absolutely disparaged between the track and the tires. And now it's turned into a completely different show all the way around. Hi there. I'm in Greendale for a while. Nice to have you join us. My three partners are spread out, starting with Brian Schmidt up in Oostburg, Wisconsin. My brother used to live in Oostburg.
Yes, he did. Yes, first time I've been at my house to do the show in probably a month, I would think, because we've been on the road. IndyCar, and last week at Chicago, and Trans Am. We've been on the road the last couple of weeks, so good to be home for once.
And, of course, Wisconsin's left coast, Trempealeau, USA. PJ Noodleman, hi.
Hey. Toby's already over at Slinger, I think, right now. He just is, I guess, going over to noodle around and get things ready, because Ty won't be there for a while yet.
He was, well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Dan Margetta is back in St. Francis. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good. And it's it's Nationals week around here, but today we're at Atlanta, the track that suddenly thinks it's Daytona and Talladega, but they have pretty good races the last couple of years there.
They have had absolutely great races, and it's turned into, I think it's really a fun place to watch a race, although what a cluster yesterday's slobber knocker was in the Norp Series. What did they have, 14 cautions? Come on.
They were almost all in the last half of the race.
Yeah, and how many of you thought that when there was 10 laps to go, there might be a caution yet, and it turned out there were how many? Yeah, just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and speaking of that Norp race, Justin Allgaier won again. What a year that guy's having. But a couple of guys with ties to Wisconsin who we think are going to win race. I really thought Parker Retzlaff had a shot at winning in Atlanta. It's one of those crapshoot kind of races, and I watched him close all race long, and that guy dodged bullets and other cars and spins and problems and walls, and guy, all of a sudden, here we are at the end, and there he is. It was amazing. Ended up third. Carson Kvapil, who really had a good race, and what in the hell is preventing Carson Kvapil from winning a damn race? You get the feeling that if he wins, he's going to win like 6 in a row. He's been that good, right?
Yeah, he's been that close. He's had how many second places now, and he's always there. It's the trouble now is you get into the part where you've had all these opportunities and you haven't closed the deal yet, and something always seems to come up at the end. And yeah, it's a good run, but it's almost like you need that win. You know, the good run is okay, but the next step is to actually win one. And I guess you got to just keep being there, and eventually it'll happen, hopefully.
Same thing was happening with Sam Mayer when he was in that one car, if you remember. How close was he time after time after time after time? And then he finally broke through at Road America, ironically enough, to get his first win. And then he won, I don't know, like 3 or 4 more that year. So hopefully the same thing. Unfortunately, we don't have Road America on the schedule, but hopefully the same thing happens to Kvapil once he's able to get that win. Speaking
of Sam, he won the pole yesterday and then had some issues during the race, DNF'd. There's another guy that needs a win. He's obviously run good enough to win, but you got to be able to seal the deal, as they say. And until you do that, well, I guess it's Ute Adbey. In the lineup today for the 400-mile, 260-lapper on TNT, Ryan Blaney's Ford is on the pole, 179.912 miles an hour. He went around that just a hair over a mile and a half at 30.814. And a pair of Fords on the front row, just to get everybody thinking, geez, maybe it'll be something other than a Toyota once in a while. And we can only hope. God,
the top Toyota, you see that, is Eric Jones starting 11th. Not a Gibbs Toyota. Eric Jones is the top Toyota. Yeah. You have to go all the way down to, let me look, 20th? Chase Briscoe That's the first Gibbs Toyota.
And yet, is there any one of us that thinks there's any chance that these guys aren't going to be running up front in about, I don't know, what do you think, 10 laps?
Yeah, you're probably right. We're going to have a chance to win it.
Total crapshoot racing. And that's what you get. And it's, that part I like. I don't like cautions, but then again, for a perfect race, it would be nice to have, say, 2 or 3 well-placed cautions throughout the event. But that's why they have those stupid segments. I'm just not a fan. Although it's better now than it was last year. Go ahead.
Is Atlanta kind of like Daytona in a way where, obviously you got a handle, right? Is it a deal where if you're fast in qualifying, you give up some handling deals, and maybe these guys that are qualifying back will have a car that'll race better because it'll handle better in the traffic and in the draft? Or does that same thing kind of concept play out here?
I think so. They talked yesterday about how Sam Mayer, they trimmed that car out so much to get a faster lap in qualifying that then the thing didn't handle it all in the race itself. And I think handling might even be more important there because the laps are so much shorter. The track is so much smaller. You're running so tight together there. You don't have the long straightaways. You're in the corner forever at Atlanta. I think handling's probably as important as anything.
Yeah, and since the repave, it has turned it into what do we even call it anymore? You can't call it a plate track. It's just
drafting. It's a hybrid drafting track.
There you go.
That's a good way to put it, Brian.
It only has 4 more degrees of banking than Chicagoland does, but the difference is the package that's on the car. They put that real low downforce package on that car, and that's why you get the racing you have. You could take these exact same cars and put the package you had on them last week, and then the racing would be like what you had last week there, but that's not what they want.
And, I don't know that was a problem, how they raced last week. As a matter of fact, Brian, just back from Chicago, and we'll get into that in the next segment. However, the racing really wasn't bad last week at that 1.5 miles in Chicago, was it?
No. For 1.5 miles getting, much maligned 1.5 miles that we heard about from, about 2008 to all the way up to 2020, that there's just awful racing, terrible racing. It's now become the trademark of NASCAR and the best racing you have, almost like what you had way back in the late 90s when they started building all these tracks. So it's just funny how everything is so cyclical in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
You had such good racing at one of those double dog leg front stretch 1.5 milers that they said, man, why don't we just make a bunch of them like that so we have good racing everywhere we go? And not one of them, even though they all have the same basic layout, not a one of them is identical to the other ones. And so the racing changes a little bit. And I think, even though I don't know this now, I'm going to say that they don't all have the same tire compounds. Is that can I almost assume that, or do we even know?
Yeah, they change it up for the different tracks, and then that's like Chicago last week. They did a tire test there to figure out what you need because it's such an abrasive surface. Atlanta is constantly changing because it's becoming more abrasive as time goes on. So then you have to adapt to it. But it's not as much the tires as it is what they're doing to the cars to make the type of racing you have.
Or not doing to the cars.
Or not. Yeah, there's so much to it. I tell you what we'll do here, we'll get Brian's synopsis of his weekend in Chicago after we take a break and come back. And we'll talk all about yet another Toyota making it to victory lane. I can't even, I don't even like saying that, even though I like Chase Briscoe. We'll be back right after these.
Vintage racing, but make it epic. The WeatherTech Vintage Weekend with Brian Redmond, July 16th through 19th, brings rare classics and legendary machines back to life at Road America. It's like stepping into a rolling museum, except everything is loud, fast, and very much alive. Perfect for car lovers, photographers, and anyone who appreciates old school cool. July 16th through 19th. Get tickets at roadamerica.com, where legends still run.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800. Or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Well, if you're going to, and I really liked that they got rid of the Chicago road course personally, but did they really get rid of it? What they did was at least 1 year reprise that they were going to race on the oval, and I thought it was an absolutely great race. Brian was our lone representative there last week, and it's not like they didn't have issues to deal with, right, Brian?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going into the weekend, I was a little skeptical because, I was there in May for the drag race down there, and the place looked like an abandoned facility. It didn't look good. So I really didn't have high expectations for it. But for the small amount of time they had to get the place spruced up and get it ready for the event, I thought they did a heck of a job. And then it had the feel going into the weekend like it was this is just, we're going to throw a bone to these guys. See if they have a race here. They're probably not going to sell out. They're probably not going to have a good crowd, and then we can forget about it and go back downtown where the glitz and the glamour and the suits want to be. Well, that's not what happened because the people turned out, and the people turned out in droves, and they sold the place out for Sunday. We said that during our show last week. And even though, you had 4 inches of rain and you had a lot of traffic issues, I didn't hear a lot of complaining from a lot of people about it. I think everybody kind of just went with the flow, and they were just happy to have a race back at the facility and a real race. And then, what a race it was. You had 28 lead changes among 13 different drivers. You didn't see that at Chicago the last time they were there. You had follow the leader stuff going on for the first how many years of that track. And this new car just put on a heck of a race at that track. And so did the O'Reilly cars on Saturday night. So I think as a whole, NASCAR now is in the predicament where, well, I guess this is going to be successful. Now we got to figure out what we're going to do because you can't have just a 1 year deal there. I mean, they were selling $25 deposits to get your seats for next year, and tons of people did that too, just to put it on NASCAR to show them that you got to stay there. And that's exactly what the people got to do. And I don't think NASCAR expected that out of those people, and it's great to see.
You were saying the prices were pretty reasonable?
The ticket prices, yeah. I mean, you could have a seat way up top in the grandstand for $65 for Sunday's, Cup race. Not many places you can do that, and the prices, go down as you get lower. And the nice part about Chicago is you can stand at ground level and still see all the way around the track, just the way they configured it and put that place up. So
I feel like NASCAR underestimates the Midwest every
absolutely.
time.
Yes, they do. And I could see it because, the last 5, 6, 8 years that you ran there, you didn't have good crowds on Sunday. But that's what happens when people just assume it's going to come back. And when you take it away from the people, and then the threat is that it's not going to come back, now when they do come back, you're like, well, I better make sure I go because it may not come back. And, and it's kind of a brilliant idea by NASCAR to do that to these tracks and to not make sure that you're going to not tell you, oh, you're for sure going to have another race next year either, because we still don't know that for sure. But it makes the people want to go, and the people that are on the fence go because they know if you don't and it may not come back, then it's gone forever.
Was there talk? Are they talking about going back to that street course next year?
Yeah. There's talk about trying to do both. Now, the story came out this week where Ben Kennedy says that race has been in the red every single year that they've had it, which stands to reason because of the cost behind it. But they use it more as an advertising tool. So, I don't know. Can Chicago sustain 2 races? Does the climate sustain it? There was talk all week last weekend about maybe moving the Cup race back to the Chase time. Well, that's when they had it. back in September. And Dan, remember those years? The crowd wasn't that good either because you're up against football in that area.
Oh, yeah, that always went against that way. They're talking about an article that came out this week was it the Chicago Tribune? It talked about the street race, saying it wasn't completely dead. The city still wants it. They want to negotiate for next year maybe, or in the future putting it on there. They just didn't want the July 4th holiday. And the article said that the city is looking at Memorial Day weekend. I'm like, well, that's your Coke 600. I don't know if you're going to give that up.
Yeah.
To do that. But that was all they're talking. And then it came out that said the city obviously wants more money than what NASCAR paid the other years. And then Kennedy said, well, we lost money all 3 years. Is it worth? Does it draw new people? Yeah, I mean, there's probably people that don't know much about NASCAR. Hey, it looks cool in racing in the street. Maybe involved down the road, but I just don't know if it's worth losing as much money as the people that you gain in. Does that make up for all the money you have to do
the juice is not worth the squeeze. They should go back to Road America.
Well, right. And that's not owned by NASCAR. See, the first 2 years, and then they talk about numbers of people. We were talking about this last week when I was at the track with different people and, the crowd, what it was and this and that. Well, the first 2 years of the Chicago street race, you had big name artists playing there. So you had a lot of people that in order to go to the concert had to buy a ticket. The last year of the race, the 2025 event, didn't have any of that. And the crowd was very sparse. I mean, were there 50,000 people there in 2025? I don't think so. You had 50,000 people at the Oval last week. That's a guarantee because you know exactly how many tickets you sold.
Sure.
So I don't know if you really, at the 3-year metric you have for the street race, you have real accurate numbers to really determine whether it was worth it or whether it was not, from the outside looking in. I mean, only NASCAR knows. But I think it all depends upon what sponsors are going to kick the money in to make it happen.
And, when you think about it, when you look at it, look at the crowd they had at Road America versus what they had in downtown Chicago.
Right.
It can't be about the numbers. It has to be about the sponsor money and what they want to be associated with. Gosh, you're racing around the lakefront in Chicago and you got all those beautiful skyscrapers in the picture. What the hell is that? Who cares? What about all the people on the side watching from Road America as they go through the woods?
Yeah. And the talk has always been about holidays. You have your traditional holidays. You have the Coke 600 Memorial Day weekend. You now have the Southern 500 back on Labor Day weekend. They took that away from a while. That was a big black eye. They realized that was a bad move. NASCAR doesn't have a traditional date for the 4th of July. Now, yes, you had Daytona for all those years. We get that. Daytona, the city of Daytona says, no, we don't want you there. It's not going to help us at all. It does nothing for us. We get so many people. So you got to get that one off the docket and you got to find a new one. When they came to Road America, that was the kind of the thought process, is that would be your new traditional date. Well, NASCAR doesn't have as much say and everything, so to speak, at Road America as they want. That's why that's kind of off the table.
Yeah.
Can Chicago do that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. If whatever they do, they got to pick one and they got to stick with it. I mean, 4th of July is traditionally a camping weekend, and the 4th of July is not always going to land on a weekend either. There's going to be, many years where it's smack dab in the middle of the week, so you're not always going to have that same date like you can with the Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend. But I don't know. I mean, it was successful last year. Could they do it again? I think it would work there again next year. But I think NASCAR really wants to find that niche for the 4th of July weekend and go with it. And right now they have a tough spot finding one.
Really?
Well, they would be better served to quit trying to force shit and instead use some common sense.
Oh, come on.
Read the room and figure it out. I know.
Yeah. People said Indianapolis. I don't know. The Brickyard 400 on 4th of July weekend, I'm not sure that would be. I think you need more of like a camping. I mean, Watkins Glen, maybe that might be something that would work. Pocono, I've heard that one thrown around, but I don't know. They just keep trying to shuffle it, and it's really hard for them to get anything concrete for that particular holiday after they left Daytona.
Think about Chicago. Now we're talking 2 different tracks in the city of, and I want to add Road America to the mix because all 3 of them are within 2 hours of each other. And how many races can you sustain out of those 3 tracks? 1, that's the way they're looking at it. And yet, we're talking about Nashville possibly adding the fairgrounds to a very successful date they have about a half an hour east of Nashville.
And you have Iowa and you have Gateway as well.
There you go.
And talking about it in the garage last week with Jesse Saunders a little bit, he said too, he goes, they always want to say you oversaturate the Midwest. He goes, I'm not even sure you could do that, because he says, if you ran an entire Midwestern swing here, he says, I think people would show up for all of them. I go, I believe so. These people are racing nuts up here. Go to the places, Midwest has a lot of racing ties. You don't have any races in Minnesota. You don't have any races in Wisconsin. You have one in Iowa that took forever for them to get there. You don't have anything in Nebraska. You don't have anything in the Dakotas. There's a lot of racing that goes on in those states.
Throw Michigan in there too. Michigan's part of it.
Yeah, they got one race now instead of two, and they fill it up for that. You got Indianapolis in the Indiana area. But, these people will go to races.
Yeah, that's quite a swing from Road America to Michigan to Iowa to St. Louis. That's a big circle, and there's a lot of fans that could keep every single one of those tracks full.
And they're not big venues either. That's the other thing to think about. Iowa only holds like 35,000 people. That's one of the toughest tickets in NASCAR to get, but that's a good thing. Make it tough to ticket to get. Gateway, what does Gateway hold? Maybe 60,000, something like that. Same with Chicago now. There's only about 50,000 seats in there now, but that's all right. That's why you're selling them out, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't need the 180,000 like we had back in the 90s. Those days are over.
Remember, Phoenix only seats 44, and that's a hot ticket, too. We'll take a break and be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Vintage racing, but make it epic. The WeatherTech Vintage Weekend with Brian Redmond, July 16th through 19th, brings rare classics and legendary machines back to life at Road America. It's like stepping into a rolling museum, except everything is loud, fast, and very much alive. Perfect for car lovers, photographers, and anyone who appreciates old school cool. July 16th through 19th. Get tickets at roadamerica.com, where legends still run.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
On the map in my head, I just put that big circle around from Iowa on the west to Michigan on the east to Road America on the north to, I guess St. Louis on the south. I forgot to really think about Indianapolis is within that circle, isn't it? And can we possibly be forgetting another track that is near and dear to our hearts? Milwaukee Mile would be perfect for a cup race. We've been saying that for 42 years. And yet, all we've ever got is a couple of bush races and a couple of truck races and a pat on the head and say, I hope that's good enough. We'll be back maybe. Come on.
Hey, the way NASCAR operates now, I don't think you can never say never anymore, but somebody needs to chirp in their ear about it. But now, if you have the street circuit and the Chicagoland track both successful and say they go back to street circuit, that really puts Milwaukee out to pasture because I don't know that they could sustain, that many races around here. If Chicago wouldn't have been a success last week, then I would say maybe there's more hope for it. But I think, first and foremost, Milwaukee needs to get back to, get a truck ARCA race back there again and get some people in the stands for that. I mean, the IndyCar has been successful. Hopefully it's going to be successful again in August for their doubleheader. But if they can get back into good graces with NASCAR on their own, with the Fair Board doing it themselves, then there might be some push to do something there.
To run Rockingham, Charlotte, Darlington, North Wilkesboro, Martinsville. That's all in it was in the Carolinas and part of Virginia there. That was all within a pretty close
stone's throw of each other, right? Yeah.
Hey, Dan, since you just used the word Rockingham, did I see that right? That track is now for sale and there's danger there's not going to be a race there anymore? Didn't we just dump millions of taxpayer dollars into refurbishing that track?
Was that tied into the IHRA deal, which seems to be going through some issues right now?
Big issues. I think IHRA bit off way more than they could chew, and now they're scrambling to pay everybody off, right?
And, well, of course, as far as I'm concerned, all this, I think about the taxpayer dollars myself. And they did the same thing with North Wilkesboro, which is okay. They're going to have a race there. Everything will be fine. Didn't they do a bunch of improvements at the Charlotte track, too? I think it all came out of that money. That's nice. I don't know how the hell we justify all those private entities.
Michigan, I think, was paid with stimulus money, too, wasn't it, back in the day?
Geez, I didn't know that.
I think that was taxpayer money.
I think you're right, Brian.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, it's been a busy week at the principal's office. I wished I could have been there for easily one of the most popular and easily one of the most unpopular drivers going into the principal's office at the same time. SVG and Austin Hill had to go in and sit down and face the music about their on-track shenanigans that have been happening. And SVG is, I know, he just comes out and he's not afraid to talk about it and that he's learned his lesson and he sees how things are done and blah, blah, blah. And you ask Austin Hill, and what's the answer? He grunts. That's it.
That's so funny.
That's all you get out of him. Well, I hope.
The biggest thing I got out of that is like the shirt that Brian Priest now seems to sell. Don't hit the button. Don't talk about it on the radio, and you can do it. You can wreck somebody as long as you don't advertise about it or brag about it and act like you didn't mean it. I think you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Although there still was a meeting in the principal's office, but there's no suspensions or fines. So that
they didn't have enough proof, though. I mean, it's not like they could go back to the scoring loops or all that to see what had happened. So,
and at the same time, there's some, and those two, they don't get along. Blah blah. There's genuine hatred coming from Zane Smith. And there may be more than just Zane that hates Carson Hocevar, not named Rich Pickle, but Zane Smith comes right out and just trashes the shit out of this guy.
What an idiot. I mean, seriously. You're just letting the guy know that he's getting under your skin. And you're showing NASCAR that if something happens again between the two of you clowns, you're going to be held accountable because you've already been on the record bitching about him.
And that's amazing.
More if he was racing him for wins or racing him for a position even, but they're not even close on the racetrack right now. I mean, the 38 car is nowhere near the 77, and this comes off to me as like an attention-getting deal right now to just come off that way. I mean, if it would mean more if they were actually running better together.
This is the first time people have talked about Zane Smith, so you run your mouth now? Oh, is this really what you want them to be talking about? Or how about that move Zane Smith put on so-and-so? Wouldn't that be a little better than, did you hear that he called Hocevar a bunch of names?
A bad human being, he even said. I mean, really? Come on now.
Well,
Without calling him any specific swear word types names.
I almost forget Zane Smith's a cup driver, to be honest with you. A lot of people do, I think.
It seemed like he was just about to reach the next level. He was having some top 5 runs there, and you thought,
He was caught in that Trackhouse deal, wasn't he? Wasn't he part of their deal? And he kind of got moved aside when SVG came along. So I mean,
he skipped a step in his progression. I mean, he went from the trucks right up to the Cup Series, winning the truck title. He might even won it more than once. And then, he never really ran in the Norp Series at all. So he when you skip a step, I think that really handicaps you.
It might. I'll tell you, though, in a performance-based industry, you better start doing something other than running your mouth, or you're going to find yourself out of a ride. There's too many drivers that are on the verge of getting a chance to drive. Does Zane Smith bring money? Do we know? He must, right?
I would imagine, yeah. And I think he's I don't know if he's married yet to her, but he was with the Galding girl that owns Krispy Kreme donuts too. So there's some ties there.
Yeah, that's Gray Galding's sister, right?
Yes.
And that's Krispy Kreme money?
I believe so, yes.
I remember asking, first of all, I had gone to the one and only Snowball Derby I ever attended. Zane Smith was there in his super late and had a real good race. And I had run into Tom Roberts, who was doing some, research for the Kowicki group. And I said something to him.
Well, summer vacation's over, half gone already. Got to make the most of what's left before it all flies by. Speaking of flying by, let's go racing!
Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. Saturday nights, a full race program with the Super 6 late models, 360 sprints, Grand Nationals, and V-Mods. Gates open at 4:30, dirt flies at 5:30. Adult tickets $15, kids 11 and under, free with paying adult. Check out PlymouthDTR.com for schedules and ticket information. The Saturday night tradition, Plymouth Dirt Track Racing.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Wow, that was a break right there, I guess, huh? I had just mentioned, and I don't know how much of it was heard before all of a sudden we started listening to some spots, but Zane Smith, I got to see race at the Snowball Derby, and I had asked Tom Roberts, who was at the time the head guy over at the Kowicki program, and I asked him, what about this Zane Smith character? He seems to have some real talent, and he might be a real good representative for you. And he said Zane Smith doesn't have a need for the Kowicki money, basically. Now, I don't really know, how much or what kind of backing he has, but it's been enough to keep him in a cup ride, whatever it is. So I see what TR was talking about, but talent-wise, we're talking. Would he win if, for instance, he would be put into I would say Hendrick, because that used to be the standard, but it's not anymore, into a Gibbs ride? Would he win in a Gibbs ride? What do we even think about that? Does Zane Smith have the talent to be a superstar?
I think so. I mean, he did well in the Truck Series for the years that he was in there, and the Truck Series is pretty stacked. You know, I think he probably would. We're never going to really know, I guess, until he ever gets the chance.
I think the biggest thing that's a detriment to him is his mouth. And I know that we like controversy and all that too, but I mean, even when he was in the trucks, he got into a scuffle. I don't even remember who it was, but he just ripped on everybody in the series. And basically, I don't have to worry about it because I'm moving on to bigger and better things. And I just thought he's a pompous ass. And, if you're ugly like that on the inside, that shit usually comes out to the outside.
His dad runs a professional off-road racing team, the Herbst Smith Fabrication. So they've won the Baja 1000, 10 times. So he's got some off-road background, I guess.
I don't think he's that talented. I mean, he didn't do squat in supers.
He was Trackhouse's guy, wasn't he? I mean, he was going to be their next big deal. That's why they kind of wrapped him. They put him at Spire for a while. Remember, they leased him to Spire or loaned him to Spire because they didn't have room for him at Trackhouse. And then when it came time to find room for him, well, here comes SPG. And it was like, oh, we got no room for you now. I was like, too bad. And he already lost the Spire ride, so he was kind of stuck. And it could be why. Maybe that's why he's got something against Quap or Spire as well, because that they were on the same team. They were right about the same time that way. I do think this thing with Hocevar, the nickname that's kind of starting to come around, that's kind of getting some traction. Remember Earnhardt was the Intimidator?
Yeah.
Colin Hocevar the Eliminator.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, though? Hocevar is kind of the Charles Barkley, if you guys like your sports analogies, of auto racing. He's taking all these three-point shots, and he's missing almost all of them. He takes all of these dangerous, dramatic moves. You're either going to be a hero or a zero, and his percentage tends to be zero.
Caution, Hocevar is my favorite.
But we're all going to come out and watch him Tuesday night, right? I mean,
for sure, yeah.
Oh, my God. And he commands headlines just because of I guess it's his attitude. He has talent, obvious talent.
It's his antics that are commanding the headlines.
Yeah, it's the antics. It's the when to open your mouth and when to find it be more in your favor to just keep your mouth shut. And apparently we still have to learn that. It's a fine line sometimes. So either way, I don't know. Brian, when you mentioned that terrible Herbst, he had something to do with that Baja racing team?
No, that's Zane Smith's. Zane Smith's family owns a Baja racing team. There's a Herbst is the name in it. I don't know if that's related to Riley. I doubt it.
I doubt it.
But
too.
Brian,
Mike Smith,
he won the Baja this year. Herbst did, or last year.
Yeah, Herbst Smith Fabrication.
Maybe. I mean, if he won it, I would guess that might be, that there is some tie there. But yeah, it's pretty good. I made a trip to the very tip of Baja California. The day that Denny Hamlin got married, Marge and I flew from Phoenix down to Cabo for like a 5-dayer, and the tour guide on the bus between the airport and the resort was telling us about how famous it was, that this is where the Baja 1000 ended, right here. Although I don't know who won it, he says. And I go, it was Herbst. And he looks back, and how come I know this and you don't, and you're doing the old whatever. Yes, he's a racer, that Herbst guy. And he's looked better ever since they told him that he's losing his ride. Did anybody notice? He's been pretty impressive recently, at least compared to where he was before. Before we go to results, I want to mention that the Kyle Busch Celebration of Life was announced. It's going to be at Charlotte after the truck race on October 9th, which means it'll be from the grandstands, I guess. And then they'll probably have people come down and say things over the PA. And the general public is invited, and naturally, as you might imagine, to stick around after the truck race. We're going to take a break. We've got some results from around the world of racing. Lots of them when we come back.
It's the Cobblestone Hotel Slinger Nationals, presented by Litch Buick GMC of West Bend and Miller Lite. 100 laps in the biggest late model showdown in the country, featuring NASCAR star Carson Hocevar and the best drivers in the nation battling for the crown. Racing starts at 5:30. Plus, don't miss the prelude to the Nationals on July 12th and the Nationals bracket showdown on July 13th at the Slinger Superspeedway. Be there for the biggest week of racing all summer.
Well, summer vacation's over, half gone already. Got to make the most of what's left before it all flies by. Speaking of flying by, let's go racing.
Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. Saturday nights, a full race program with the Super 6 late models, 360 sprints, Grand Nationals, and B-Mods. Gates open at 4:30. Dirt flies at 5:30. Adult tickets $15. Kids 11 and under free with paying adult. Check out PlymouthDTR.com for schedules and ticket information. The Saturday night tradition, Plymouth Dirt Track Racing.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800. Or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
We've entered the dog days of summer, racing every single day on the dirts across the country. We'll start Monday. Kankakee, Illinois, the UMP Summer Nationals trudged on, $5,000 to win. Tanner English, the points leader in that series, picked up the win on Monday. Tuesday night up in Eagle River, Wisconsin, the USRA Limited Eights. Lucas Peterson was your winner. IMCA Stock Cars was Dustin White. Sweet Springs, Missouri for the USAC National Midgets Tuesday. That was Gavin Miller, your winner. And Montpelier, Indiana, the UMP Summer Nationals. Frankie Heckenass Jr. picked up the win on Tuesday. Wednesday night in Beloit, Kansas, the Mitchell County Fairgrounds for the USAC National Midgets. Jacob Denny was your winner. This is a tough one. Arkawesasne, New York. Akwesasne. That's the name of the city. New York. Mohawk International Raceway for the Super Dart Car Series Big Block Modifieds. Jimmy Phelps was your winner. Also Wednesday in Lake Odessa, Michigan, the I-96 Speedway for the UMP Summer National Super Late Models. Rusty Schlenk was your winner, and the Modifieds was David Stremme. Haven't called that name in a while. Picked up a win in the Modified. Busty, New York, Wednesday night. State Line Speedway for the World of Outlaw Late Model Series, $15,000 to win. Dalton Wilson got his first career World of Outlaw Late Model victory. That was cool to see. Thursday night, Dundee, New York, Outlaw Speedway for the Short Track Super Series Big Block Modifieds. I do not have the winner of that one. Oh, okay. Maybe that race rained out. Butler, Michigan, Thursday, the UMP Summer Nationals. Tanner English continued his dominance of the Summer Nationals, picking up the win there. Hartford, Michigan for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Sheldon Houdenchild grabbed the win. And West Burlington, Iowa, Thursday, the 34 raceway for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Brandon Shepard took the point lead in the Lucas Oil Series by getting the win on Thursday
Haven't heard his name lately.
No, but he's been having a quiet, good year, and he's starting to get hot at the right time. Friday night, Chilton's Gravity Park Speedway in the Modifieds. Joey Siegert was the winner. Grand Nationals, Jeff Richards. Stock Cars was Brad Lubach. Up at Seymour, the Outagamie County Speedway. $5,000 to win Wayne Rofer's Memorial for the Super Late Models. Nick Anvelink grabbed the win in that one. IMCA Modifieds was Benji Lacrosse. Stock Cars was Chase Parker. Fountain City, Wisconsin's the Mississippi Thunder Speedway for the USRA Modifieds. Harley Dias grabbed the win. Menominee Red Cedar Speedway for the Wissota Late Models. Mike Prochnow with your winner. And the Modifieds, Shane Halapka. USRA Limited Lates went to Steve O'Brien Jr. Down in Darlington, the Lafayette County Speedway for the Limited Lates was Ty Webster. IMCA Modifieds, Jed Freeberger. Wilmot, I was there Friday night for the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, the Larry Hillerud Memorial Night number 1. Great crowd, pretty good race. Buddy Kofoid led it all. David Gravel came on at the end to finish second from, he was started 8th, I think. So, entertaining race all the way around. Fairbury, Nebraska, Friday night, Jefferson County Speedway for the USAC National Midgets. Jacob Denny was your winner. Wheatland, Missouri, Lucas Oil Speedway for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Talking about first-time winners. Dylan McCowan grabbed his first ever Lucas Oil feature win down there, and those are heavy hitters in the Lucas Series, so congratulations to him picking up that. Last night at Plymouth, the Super 6 Late Models, Brad Miller grabbed his first feature win of the season.
Hey.
MSA 360 Sprints went to TJ Smith, and the Grand Nationals had the Scott Weiss Memorial, $1,053 to win. The Weiss number was 53 for those guys. They ran 53 laps for the Grand Nationals at Plymouth without a lot of carnage. And wow. Tyler Kulo grabbed the win there. Francis Crick, the 141 Speedway. Modifieds was Russ Reinwald. Stock cars was Eric Malik. Shawano in the modifieds, Marcus Yari. Stock cars was Trent Nolan. Wilmot, night number 2 for the Larry Hillerud Memorial. In a thrilling race, Sheldon Houdenchild passed Garrett Williamson, who is still in search of his first World of Outlaw feature win. Passed him on the last lap to pick up the win in that one. The IRA Wingless Sprints went to Johnny Fall. Down at Rice Lake with Soda Mods, Mike Anderson. Ashland, Nick Ostergevich. Cedar Lake Speedway, New Richmond, Wisconsin. Jake Tim won $5,000 in the modifieds. USRA Limited Lates was Cade Nelson. Fairbury, Nebraska, night number 2 for the USAC National Midgets. That went to Cale Drake. Fairbury, Illinois, the UMP Late Models went to Jason Fager. Wassy, Ohio, Oakshade Raceway for the UMP Summer Nationals. Frankie Heckendass Jr. won again. He's having one of the better seasons he's had in a long time. Hartford, Ohio, the Sharon Speedway for the World of Outlaw Late Model Series, $20,000 to win. Bobby Pierce got back on the winning track. And finally, the big money race of the weekend, Wheatland, Missouri, the Diamond Nationals for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, $25,000 to win. Dylan McCowan showed it was no fluke. He went 2 for 2, picking up the $25,000 to win prize there. And that is everything this week. I will take a breath.
All right, on to the asphalt side of things. Last Sunday at Slinger, the Super Late Model winner was Luke Fenhouse. Nice little warm-up for the Nationals for him. Late models were in action. It was quite the slobber knocker. Ryan Gutnick ended up as the winner after Jake Hassler was black flagged. And then Rick Reddick Tackman and Tom Behrens duked it out, and then Gutnick squirted by to collect the checkers. It was insane, and it was actually Flow Racing's race of the week, for crying out loud. Or was it wreck of the week? I don't know. Thursday, up at Kaukauna, Wisconsin International Raceway, the Red, White, and Blue Series continues. It was the white race. Late model feature winner was Alex Stumpf, and the super late model winner, Dalton Zare. On Friday, the Arca Menard Series was running at Lime Rock. The winner was Thomas Annunziata.
Thomas Annunziata. It rolls right off your tongue.
Lasagna. Carson Brown was in the race. He was 3rd. Tristan McKee was 7th. Stuart Friesen there, too. He was 13th. And Ty Fredrickson was in the field, and he finished 15th.
Many of those drivers headed to Slinger.
Indeed. Madison International Speedway on Friday night. The Vintage Series had a doubleheader. Steve Rubeck, my former classmate when I was a little toddler in northern Illinois. He
Prairie Valley, Illinois.
Yeah. He picked up the first win, and then Nate Hasley back in action. He was the 2nd feature winner. Brent Edmonds picked up both feature wins for the late models for a nice little sweep for him. Yesterday, the Midwest Tour should have been at Hawkeye Downs in Cedar Rapids, but that event was canceled due to confliction, I believe was the correct term. Marshfield Speedway, the Johnny Brevitt Classic, the vintage race winner was Sean Herzog. Super Lates was Jared DeBoer. Jefferson Speedway last night, late model feature winner Steven Sauer. And then Dells was in action last night as well. As usual, modified winner was Stephen Scholes. And then late model double features. First one went to Randy Sargent. Second one to Jesse Bernhagen. And it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to Jesse.
Which means that tomorrow actually is the day that Davey Allison died. That's why he's number 28. And it was 33 years ago. Crazy.
Wow, that is crazy. Then just some upcoming things. Obviously, this Saturday, July 18th, Jefferson Speedway is hosting their twin 57-lap late model features. $1,000 to win each feature, plus $5,000 bonus for the overall. $2,500 for second and $1,250 for third. It's a 4-tire race. They already got 37 late models on that entry list, so that's pretty cool for Jefferson next Saturday. And then the big fanfare starts today for Slinger. The prelude to the Nationals is today, the Midwest Truck Series 50-lapper for $1,000 to win. The 602 Crater is going to be in action and more. Monday night is going to be really cool. I'm excited for this. And all fans and teams are encouraged to wear a retro race T-shirt, just for shits and giggles. There's going to be a CRA Pro Late Model Series 100-lap race on Monday. They've released their 19-car entry list, and among the locals that are going to be in there, Derek Kraus, Dennis Prunty, Cooper Goralski, and Mike Egan have all thrown their hats into the ring for that Pro Late Model race on Monday. And then they're doing something really cool and new. It is a $5,000 to win Slinger Bracket Challenge on Monday night. Excuse me. It's going to start at 5:30 p.m. The top 32 in practice time will be matched up for brackets. So first, fastest will be going against 32nd in time. Second versus 31st, third versus 30th, and so on. 4 tires, no tape on the grill, no fans to cool the engine down in between runs. Teams can use their hand tools like a jack and 4 jack stands to make slight adjustments between rounds. The tires cannot be removed from the car, and the winner of each round will return to the stage area for that next round, and they're going to pare it down to the final 4. Those 4 will all be given 4 tires, and then they'll be squaring them off, and the winner's going to pick up $5,000. It's going to be exciting. And then, of course, Tuesday is the 47th annual Slinger Nationals. The United Race Fans of Wisconsin already have created a free-to-play fantasy game. They're going to accept donations for Lap 6. And as of July 11th, Aaron Baird informs us that they have more than $500 donated. I don't know how much has been raised for lap money already overall. Do any of you know?
No, they've been working on it.
Oh, not yet.
I don't have a number yet, but they've been working on a lot of things to get a lot of stuff taken care of already, so you're not chasing a lot of people down on Tuesday itself, which is the opportunity to just get more.
As we sneak off to a break here, speaking of Aaron Baird, he is the subject of PJ's latest Racing Nuggets, available wherever you download your podcasts. And we're going to take a break and be back. Hang in there.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs, all backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
It's the Cobblestone Hotel Slinger Nationals, presented by Litch Buick GMC of West Bend and Miller Lite. 200 laps in the biggest late model showdown in the country, featuring NASCAR star Carson Hocevar and the best drivers in the nation battling for the crown. Racing starts at 5:30. Plus, don't miss the prelude to the Nationals on July 12th and the Nationals Bracket Showdown on July 13th at the Slinger Superspeedway. Be there for the biggest week of racing all summer.
This week, the Southeast Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Fame announced their list of nominees this year. They will trim this down by half. There are 10 names here. Jim Trado, Butch Hafman, Greg McCarnes, Junior Dodd, Tim Crimmings, George Bauman, Herbie Duvall, Randy Kamenik, Scott Cuxhouse, and Jerry Kindler are the 10 names. Vote. I don't know the whole thing about voting, but you can look on Facebook. They have their own page. And the voting begins soon. I don't think you can vote yet, but some very worthy nominees there, and many that deserve your votes. Brian, the points are. Well, first of all, I should say that today's race is televised on TNT. I didn't mention that yet. TNT has it again. It's a night race. You're not going to watch it this afternoon. 6:19 is when the green flag falls. It's supposed to be in the 80s with a 70% chance of rain in Atlanta. A very good chance it's going to either be strung out till the wee hours of the morning or come back tomorrow. So that's what we should see. In the points, it's pretty tight right in the middle there. Eric Jones is 4 points over the line, and the 60 car 4 points under the line with Ryan Preece. But I think as time is getting closer, Brian, it's becoming more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, just think about what happened to Tyler Reddick now. He's 44 points behind Denny Hamlin after his car vomited oil all over the place last week. I mean, he's got to right the ship, because that ship is taking on a lot of water really quickly. I mean, he's still sitting good, but just to have that many bad runs in a row is you just got to get the mojo changed. But I mean, yeah, it's 3 Toyotas in the top 4. Ty Gibbs continues to hang on right up there as well. You know, in the top 5. Who would have thought he'd be able to turn that around? Chase Elliott, he could be a big mover today. I mean, I think he usually does very well here, and he's sitting 5th. He's the top Hendrick car and the top Chevrolet, him and Larson 5th and 6th.
There's no Toyotas in top qualifying, so don't count them out.
Yeah, don't kid yourself. They'll probably race good.
I'm going to pick one because I'm learning my lessons. If I want to win this thing, and if I want to beat them and win our little contest, I have to pick Toyotas whether I like them or not. And I'm taking Bubba Wallace today. What do you think of that? All right, go ahead. Anybody jump right in there.
Well, I'm taking Chase Elliott today. I think he loves that track. He loves being in Georgia, and he's really good about it, and fans will love it, and it'll look good on TV if Chase Elliott wins today.
The siren would go off.
Yes, the siren.
I'm going with Blaney. I know it's a shock.
He's on a pole. That's pretty good. All right, Dan, surprise us.
I'd like to be on the
pole. I don't know why, because it's kind of a crapshoot race. I'll take a crapshoot pick. How about Joey Logano from outside front row?
Now that would turn his season around. Let's see, would that help him much? Let me scroll. Here he is, 18th in points.
Yeah, 16 out.
Yeah, so he's got that chance yet to get himself back into this.
It's pretty much what it would take. That's for sure.
Hey, a kid who needs to complete some laps today is Connor Zilish. Hopefully he can at least make it around to complete a lap, because last week, I mean, you just shake your head and you just can feel the pain for the kid, because once again, he doesn't get any laps last week, crashing in the first, and none of his doing. Hopefully that kid can turn it around and have some luck, and this would be the type of track where if he can keep his nose clean, he can run up there and have a good day.
Trackhouse has just been shitty from top to bottom, with maybe the exception of SVG, but they just haven't really shown much. We did not mention, or did you? I didn't hear it, or I didn't pay close attention, PJ. Grant Enfinger, Kermit the Frog, won at Lime Rock, Connecticut in the Truck Series yesterday. Ty Majeski's shit luck continued. What was it this time? He blew a tire?
No. The right rear tire rubbed through the brake line, and then he lost his brakes and just went headlong into the tire barrier. It was buried.
Oh, almost like Jimmy Johnson, like when he did it at Watkins Glen. I think it was like straight in the tires.
Yeah.
Well, he can turn that juju around and win at Slinger on Tuesday, and then you'll forget all about how crappy the trucks have been going. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We want everybody to remember that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losey, and for all of us involved with the program, we appreciate the fact that you tune in on Sundays and download us, and we'll see you at Slinger on Tuesday.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.